Okay, so the next step on my little rebuild adventure here is to address this bell housing. The pins were good, nothing was wrong there. This doesn't have to be rebuilt or anything weird. They both look good. The only thing on here that I'm aware of that could use some attention is that play. I'm not sure if that matters. We'll have to see there. But for sure, this seal right there, that seals that shift shaft. Obviously inside here is the like the drive shaft and the U-joints and all that kind of stuff goes through here. It's actually further back in there, but I don't want water in here is what I'm getting at. And this side is exhaust, although you know you could get water through that hole. Obviously water comes out of the exhaust as well, so it's wet in there, so you really want this seal to be basically good. So I'm going to take that apart, see what it looks like. Like I said, there's definitely a little play there. I don't know if it's enough, but we'll take it apart and see what's going on. So here's that pin that I pulled out. You can see there was not much left of it. So I ended up progressively getting from like a medium-sized screwdriver to actually a pretty darn large screwdriver. Finally was able to get it out of there. So I'm assuming I'll probably need a new one of those. I might be able to use this one, but we'll see. Now this pulls out, and this pulls out. Doesn't seem to be too worn, but you can see that seal right there is pretty screwed up. Just pieces of it crumbling. So we'll see about getting it out of here. If you notice too, the bottom bushing right here, this one is basically flush with the bottom and sticks up a little bit, whereas this guy here's got a little white nylon washer that was actually just kind of looks like it was almost glued on there, and then another bushing that's pushed down flush right here. So using the screwdriver I got down in here and kind of peeled that out. This is one of the seals. So this was the exhaust side. This would have been the drive shaft side. Yep. So here's another one. This was set up that same sort of way. So they were stacked in there like this, bottom, top. Okay, so this is a 1/2-inch bolt right here. And if I stick that down in there, it bottoms out, so I'm going to actually just try and see if I can kind of pound that out of there. We'll see about this. There it is. Nice. So there's the bushing out. Again, I took this bolt and pushed it down in there. There's like a little shoulder in there. You might not be able to see it, but it only goes a little ways through. So that was the first one. Let's see about the second one here. Got a piece of 1/2-inch electrical conduit. And that fits down in there real nice. Like so. We'll take a whack and see what happens. Again, kind of brutal, but might work. There it is. So here's the bushing. This one does not appear to be directional in any way. Should be good to go to put a new one in at some point. This one actually looks pretty good. So anyway, we'll get some, probably the new bushing kit. I assume they sell a kit with these pieces in it. So that's what we'll be looking for. Maybe a new set screw while we're at it, because that one's kind of hosed up. Okay, so I got some parts in finally. Not finally, didn't take that long, like 4 days. I ordered from mercstuff.com, which I am absolutely in no way sponsored by them, but that's where I found them, and they had what I need, so I ordered from them. So first thing is, this is the set screw. It'd be that set screw, 21750. You can see it right there, little guy. And then also on the back here, this is taped together, but one second, let me untape it. Then the second part here is 87562, which is the shift shaft bushings, and then also the seals. So that would be those toasty guys there, minus that little washer. So anyway, I'm going to try and get this all rehabbed, put the shift shaft back in. I think this is called the upper shift shaft, and we'll see what happens. So the first one I'm going to put in is this larger tapered one. This one goes in the bottom, and that taper I assume is the entry direction. So basically I do know that the large hole, one's smaller, one's larger. The larger hole goes towards the bottom, the smaller one goes towards the top. So I just have some all thread and just some random nuts and washers, and I'm basically going to put this in here, run a piece of all thread all the way through to the top right here, and then just tighten that together and push that in with a washer. So that's the plan. We'll try it out, see how it goes. That got tight right there, so I know I'm actually bottomed up against the bottom of the bell housing. So now I will just take this apart, and then I'll put another bushing over here behind this nut, and I'll draw it down into the housing. So that's my plan. So the kit, this kit right here, comes with 2 seals. So here's one, and here's the other, right there. So I actually started this one by hand. I just took it on my thumb and pressed it in there really hard, and then just took like, actually this extension, just kind of got in there and kind of tapped on it to pound it down in there a little bit. They go in pretty easy. And then this one I just started with my fingers, and what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to start driving in that next bushing, and I'm going to use the bushing to push it down into that hole and butt it up behind this one rather than trying to stack them too. So I don't know, that's what I'm going to do. I didn't see any difference between the two, so yeah, I'm going to sit them here and push it down in there. Okay, so now this here is bottomed out, so that sleeve's been all the way pushed in. Here's the one seal, the one's in between this seal and the bushing. Now I'll just disassemble the this little threaded rod mess that I have here, and we can move on to the next thing. So one thing as I'm taking this apart, this is 3/8 threaded rod. So when you pull this apart, you want to be kind of careful that you don't like totally mutilate that gasket. You know, you want to be kind of gentle pulling that thing out of there so you don't freaking blow it all out. I might actually just thread it out because it's pretty snug inside that hole, and these threads are good. I didn't mar those up in any way really. Okay, so those seals, I actually shot some brake cleaner through there, and also ran compressed air through there. So I'm going to take some blue grease and just kind of see if I can mop as much of that in there as possible, and then also lube up the shift shaft prior to insertion, so to speak, and toss it in there. Alright, so I actually got it basically caked shut, and then actually a little bit pooping out on the other side. So I would say that's a pretty good grease amount in there, and then I'll just shove the shift shaft. I gotta remember which direction it goes. I think I remember, but gotta look at my old pics. Okay, so the shift shaft comes in from the bottom, like here, goes through, like that, and I'll clean off that extra grease. But that feels like decent in there. One thing I did notice is there still is like quite a decent amount of play there. So I don't know as though that's ever really supposed to be that tight. Like I said, those are brand new bushings and there wasn't a wear mark on the shaft at all, so that's alright. The top is this guy right here, this little arm. So anyway, and then we'll turn our shaft so that the holes line up right there. And then I got my new set screw right here. So we'll put that in. It has some Loctite on it already, so that shouldn't be too bad of a deal. I just hope I don't want to screw that up like the other one was. Here's the old one. I think you're supposed to put some heat on it to get it out, but that's gonna be pretty tough. Now I can't be putting heat on it now. I just gotta put it in. So we'll see how it goes. So much nicer than the old one came out. So now this all moves really smoothly, and I got a nice new seal here. That's really the reason why we did this, to keep water from an exhaust water, whatever that is, to come into the drive shaft side. One other quick thing, I forgot to put this little nylon washer on, which is filthy. But anyway, this washer, there it goes. That goes actually down underneath right there. I kind of realized it only because I went to go cycle it and it was kind of like rubbing on this cast section there. So anyway, don't forget that.